What's up, YouTube? This is Vicente Gonzalez back with another Starter Sit-em. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Guess what? It's playoff time. Well, at least in one of my leagues it is. I think a couple others still have a little bit to go. But anyways, it's that crucial time. So this is week 13. Big week. Let's do this. At quarterback, I say start Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, Ben Roethlisberger, Philip Rivers, and Josh McCown. And sit Blaine Gabbert, Jimmy Garoppolo, Cam Newton, Matthew Stafford, and Trevor Siemian. Kirk Cousins is going to tear up Dallas. Dallas is not good at anything football right now. I don't really know what the problem is, but any offensive Dallas guys downgraded, and anybody playing Dallas is upgraded. So Kirk Cousins is my start of the week. Jared Goff has proven he can be consistent. Last week he played a pretty good New Orleans Saints offense and still did rather well. So I think he's a good bet against a pretty bad Arizona defense. Ben Roethlisberger's hot. Philip Rivers tore up Dallas, like I said. And Josh McCown has become very he had a bad 2 weeks before last week, and now this week he did pretty good. He threw for 3 touchdowns. He did fumble one, but I think he's a good bet against Kansas City, who's shown they can't do much on defense. Blaine Gabbert's a sit because he's going against a good LA Rams defense. I don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo yet. He's the new starter for San Francisco. He completed 2 for 2 passes, and one of them was a touchdown. And that's all the sample set we have for him in San Francisco. So get a little more data on him before you continue with him. Cam Newton, I think he's not going to do very well against the defense. He doesn't have the weapons that Jared Goff has with Todd Gurley and some underrated pass catchers, so I don't think that Cam Newton's going to do much better. Matthew Stafford's injured and he's going against the hard Baltimore defense. And then Trevor Siemian, I actually almost like this matchup because Miami's not a very good D, and Trevor Siemian is coming back. He's motivated, and he did pretty well in replacement of Paxton Lynch last week, so I think that might be a good start, but I don't trust it right now. At running back, start Jordan Howard, Alvin Kamara, Dion Lewis, and Rex Burkhead, Samaje Perine, and Jamal Williams, and sit Jay Ajayi, Kenyon Drake, Ameer Abdullah, Kareem Hunt, and Devontae Freeman. So Jordan Howard had a terrible week last week. He never had much time to do anything really because of the game flow, but this week I think it's against like one of the worst defenses in the league, and they're going to need to run, so I like Jordan Howard this week. Alvin Kamara is a must-go. Dion Lewis and Rex Burkhead. Dion Lewis is #1. Rex Burkhead's done a lot with his touches, so they're good. Samaje Perine is going against a pretty weak Dallas defense again. Like I said, I like Washington this week, so he's a good start. And Jamal Williams is doing really well lately. He's last week he ran for a touchdown. He just seems really good right now. So roll with him against the weak Tampa Bay defense. Sit Jay Ajayi because last week he got very few touches and they let LeGarrette Blount run. Oddly enough, he just doesn't get enough volume. And from what he started with, I mean, he's boom or bust because with what he gets, he can bust one at any time. He's a really talented running back, but right now I don't think so. Sit Kenyon Drake. He had a good week last week, and I think Damian Williams is hurt, but I don't like it against the Denver D. Ameer Abdullah has not shown up as of late. Sorry, excuse me. And he's going against the Baltimore defense. Don't play with that. Kareem Hunt, not been doing much with his touches. This would be the week though that he would come back, I think, but I don't like his prospects. He's just been going downhill for quite a while. And Devontae Freeman, it's been shown that Tevin Coleman is doing well in his stead. So I don't like it. I think he's coming back this week. I think he cleared concussion protocol today, Wednesday, but I don't think they're going to use him as much as they did. So he's a risky start. At wide receiver, start Brandon Cooks, Devontae Adams, Jameson Crowder, Robbie Anderson, Devin Funchess, and Cooper Kupp. Sit Jordy Nelson, Des Bryant, Golden Tate, T.Y. Hilton, Sterling Shepard. So Brandon Cooks has been on fire lately. He's caught a touchdown in the past 2 weeks. He's going to continue with Tom Brady throwing, especially against Buffalo, who I think could kind of go blow for blow with New England, at least for a little bit. Devontae Adams has proven to be a pretty sweet wide receiver too, even with Brett Hundley at the helm. So I think Devontae Adams is a good start. Jameson Crowder has emerged. He's on fire lately. And Kirk Cousins it's his favorite target. And they're going against the weak Dallas D, so keep him in. Robbie Anderson had an amazing week last week, and I think it's his 5th week in a row with a touchdown. You got to keep riding him. Wide receiver 2 numbers. Devin Funchess, okay, he's injured. I don't know how well he's really going to do, but he's also going against a talented New Orleans Saints defense. But at the same time, I like the matchup because if Carolina gets behind, they're going to have to throw a lot. Cam Newton's going to have to hit Devin Funchess. If he's not injured, if he's good to go, then he's a good start. And Cooper Kupp has become one of Jared Goff's best targets since Robert Woods went out. Cooper Kupp had 100 yards last week, and I think he's going to continue that trend. I think he's going to get those slot looks, especially with Sammy Watkins drawing the #1 cover guy. So that's a good pick. Sit Jordy Nelson because ever since Aaron Rodgers went out, Brett Hundley just can't connect with them very well. Des Bryant, same idea. Dak lost Zeke, And Tyron Smith, even with Tyron Smith, he hasn't been looking at Dez's way, so kind of a good start. Golden State's been cold lately. T.Y. Hilton had a terrible week last week and is going against a worse defense now. Or a better defense is what I mean. And Sterling Shepard, man, they sat Eli. That sucks. But I don't know how he's going to do with Geno or the other guy, Davis Webb, so no Giants players this week. At tight end, I say start Delanie Walker, Hunter Henry, Kyle Rudolph, Jack Doyle, and Ricky Seals-Jones, and sit Jason Witten, Jared Cook, Austin Hooper, Evan Ingram, and Cameron Brate. Delanie Walker is all reliable. He's the leading receiver for Tennessee. Keep him in. Hunter Henry had a really good week last week, and Phillip Rivers has actually just been on fire lately. He's really good. I trust him to keep going. Kyle Rudolph, he had 2 touchdowns last week. He's one of what's his name? Case Keenum's favorite targets. Keep him in. Jack Doyle has been the #1 receiver for Indianapolis. Keep him in, even though he's going against a hard Jacksonville defense. And Ricky Seals-Jones is doing something kind of cool with Blaine Gabbert. They've developed a cool relationship. He's scored lately. He's gotten a lot of looks. He's a sleeper pick if you need a tight end emergency, you know. Jason Witten has been clicking with Dak Prescott. It's not working. The whole offense isn't working, so I don't trust Jason Witten. Jared Cook had a bad week, and I don't trust Derek Carr. Austin Hooper, he's like boomer bust. He always has like a good game or a bad game, a few targets here and there. But he's going against the Minnesota D, and I don't like that matchup. Evan Ingram is, the reason I like Evan Ingram, they switched out Eli with Geno and Davis Webb. I don't know how those quarterbacks are going to do it all, so I don't trust any New York Giants players. And Cameron Brate has had pretty cold weeks ever since Jameis Winston went out. And Fitzpatrick just ain't hitting him like Jameis was. And I know Jameis might be coming back this week, but I don't like it. I like the idea. So, defense, I say start the LA Chargers, Baltimore Ravens, Jacksonville Jaguars, LA Rams, and Philadelphia Eagles, and sit the Cincinnati Bengals, Dallas Cowboys, Buffalo Bills, Atlanta Falcons, and the Arizona Cardinals. As you see every week, this is just matchup plays. So, Chargers are going against Cleveland. You always start a D against Cleveland. Baltimore Ravens going against Detroit. This is an interesting one because I think Matthew Stafford's going to suck this next week because he's hurt. He injured his ankle at the end of last week's game, and injured Matthew Stafford plus a good Baltimore D is equal to a good matchup for Baltimore. So, Jacksonville Jaguars are going against Indianapolis, and Indianapolis hasn't been very good. And plus, it's Jacksonville. Why did I forget that? It's Jacksonville. You always start Jacksonville. The LA Rams are going against Arizona, who have been kind of good, but I still think the LA Rams are going to be able to force a lot of turnovers. Just keep Blaine Gabbert in check. That's a good play. And the Philadelphia Eagles, same thing. Seattle Seahawks is a good offense. They really are. Russell Wilson's going to throw a touchdown, and they're going to run a little bit, whatever. But Philadelphia is a really good team, and I think they're going to force some turnovers, whatever. So I like that pick. Sit the Cincinnati Bengals because Pittsburgh's hot. Sit Dallas because Washington's hot, and Dallas sucks right now. Buffalo against New England. Tom Brady's going to tear up the Buffalo Bills, but Buffalo and New England are going to go blow for blow. So actually, I wouldn't recommend starting New England defense either. Anyways, Atlanta Falcons, I would sit them because I'll sit their defense because Minnesota's a really good offense. They throw a lot. Adam Thielen's hot. Yeah. And then sit the Arizona Cardinals because Jared Goff runs the offense really well. They actually had a cool video of Jared Goff actually gets the audibles from the coach because the coach gets them lined up early, and the helmet set actually goes off after with 15 seconds left on the play clock. But Sean McVay's so fast at analyzing the defense and getting them ready that he can tell the audibles to Jared Goff. And that's really cool. It runs the offense really nicely. But anyways, I digress. The LA Rams are really good. They're going to throw over the Arizona Cardinals, I think. In conclusion, it's playoff time. At least in one of my leagues it is. I didn't make the playoffs, funny enough. But anyways, that's another story. I'll tell you about it later. I hope your team's where wants to be, where you want it to be at. Be bold. Don't be afraid to sit players. Like, man, I still see people starting Jordy Nelson, and that's a shame. You shouldn't start him. He sucks now with Brett Hundley. They have no chemistry. It's all about Devontae Adams. So just don't be afraid to sit anybody. And also a little bit of news. Eli was benched, which is terrible by the Giants, but I don't want to go into that. Fantasy-wise, Davis Webb and Geno Smith won't do well. I don't see that happening well. No Giants players need to be played this week. And also, Jimmy Garoppolo starting for San Francisco. And that's an interesting play because he's good. He's talented. He studied under Tom Brady for like 4 years, and he has potential. Now, the thing is we just don't have a big enough data set to make a good conclusion about how good he's going to do. I would wait a week, and he actually might be a nice sneak quarterback pickup that might lead your team into the playoffs and past the playoffs to the championship. So just keep him in mind. Watch him intently this week. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.